So intensity doesn't equal love. Intensity doesn't equal good or bad, because some people say, oh, it's really intense to have a conversation about, something vulnerable, or I don't like feeling intense feelings like anger or sadness or fear, right? Intense. But I'm like, well, you don't have any problem feeling an intense orgasm, do you? Hey there, Alana Pratt here, intimacy expert. And I was just going outside to shoot this video for you, and then it just started friggin' pouring. So they say in Wyoming, wait 10 minutes and the weather changes, but I just want to keep talking to you. So we're inside and in the kitchen. And this morning I got up super early and I went paddle boarding. And on the way home, I just kept pulling over on the side of the road to pick more of these wildflowers. Like, aren't they gorgeous? I just picked them this morning. They're so beautiful. Okay, so you asked a really great question about intensity versus intimacy. What is the difference between intensity versus intimacy? Oh my God, I have fallen prey to this in my evolution as an intimacy expert. So first, let's define a few terms here. In intimacy, into me I see. Our ability to put down our walls, our ability to open our heart and be vulnerable, have our own back and yet be transparent, honest, and real with another, not need to control the outcome of a conversation or be attached to the outcome of a moment with somebody, and just be your authentic self and them be their authentic self. And together a whole new world arises, because it's not 1 and 1 equals 2, it's 1 and 1 equals infinity. It's delicious. And it doesn't just have to happen in love relationships or in the bedroom. Those intimate relationships can happen, or intimate moments can happen with our kids, can happen with God, the divine, can happen with our money, our purpose, can happen with our body. It's about just being completely present with the other and seeing what magic wants to unfold. That's how I look at intimacy. And then if we go over to intensity, well, okay, it really is intense to stub my toe. It's really intense to have an orgasm. It's really intense to have that chemistry when you're, oh my God, they're the one. There's a lot of intensity in the world. So intensity doesn't equal love. Intensity doesn't equal good or bad, because some people say, oh, it's really intense to have a conversation about, something vulnerable, or I don't like feeling intense feelings like anger or sadness or fear, right? Intense. But I'm like, well, you don't have any problem feeling an intense orgasm, do you? So intense isn't good or bad or right or wrong. It's just intense. It's just a lot of energy moving through the body. When it comes to love relationships, sometimes we meet somebody right out of the gate and it's like we've known them forever. And it's so intense. Most of the time that means, oh my God, there's my daddy wound, my mummy wound. That's so familiar. And that part of us that's still not healed, integrated, resolved, processed, still traumatized, still emotionally triggered, that part will be drawn to that person, because we just want daddy's attention. We just want mom to hold us. And we've wanted it not just for a year or 10, probably 30 or 40. And so when we finally meet that same thread, that same emotional cord connection with somebody, and we haven't been able to get that love for a very long time, we feel this intense feeling towards somebody. But a lot of times when you have that much passion, that much intensity, it's going to be that big of an explosion after. Okay, so beware, be careful, be discerning when things get super, super intense with somebody. Okay, I wouldn't want it to blow up in your face. I wouldn't want it to cause even more heartbreak in your life. And I wouldn't want you to confuse it, because it often feels like lust and chemistry and just as high as that is, it often crashes. So back over to the intimacy realm though, oh my God, if you find somebody that's willing to be real with you, keep them around. If you find someone who's willing to tell the truth and be honest and not try to be 3 steps ahead in the conversation and dominate you and look good and be right and control you or any of that. And they're just here and real and honest and not attached to the result of the conversation, and can actually listen and ask questions and be truly curious about you, not just talk about them for the whole hour. Wow, that's rare. And frankly, that takes work to become that kind of person. And then to find another person, like you, and to share that with somebody. Because what that says about that person is they're willing to have, we could call it personal growth work, transformation, life unfolding work, evolution. They're willing to have that as their lifestyle, because you don't just become intimate and then you're done. It's a practice. It's a practice, because every moment is an opportunity to open or close our heart. When the conversation gets significant or important, and you're starting to talk about things that really matter around love or sex or kids or money or vision or purpose or shared values, it's quite often that we want to go, oh my God, what if they reject me? What if they don't agree with me? What if they take away their love? And we close our heart. That's not intimate. Intimate is when the heart is open. So it takes a lot of bravery, it takes a lot of courage, it takes commitment, and it takes practice. So I would definitely go towards the intimate experiences more than the intense experiences, unless, of course, you're having an intimate moment of intense orgasm. Now that one, I'd combine them. That sounds really great. It really comes down to discernment and awareness, which does not happen up here. It happens in the body, in the knowing, with an open heart. So you can hear that pre-thought, that happens in the body. And that also takes work. That also takes commitment. That also takes rolling up your sleeves and being willing to heal all of those unconscious triggers, those unhealed wounds that are literally programmed to repel love. So that's delicious, a delicious way to live. It's what we're all about here in my company. It's why I've developed my 10 proprietary Alana Pratt method processes over 20 years of doing the work on myself and my clients. We know they work, and they create the kind of meaningful conversations, deep intimacy, and soul-shaking relationships that most of us on the personal growth path desire. Yeah, to become the one, to find the one, to keep the one, so we can thrive with the one. That's what we say around here. So if we can be of service and contribution to you, we have so many wonderful complimentary ways you can learn more. Our intimacy blind spot assessment, our intimacy breakthrough experience call. We have a mastermind. We have all sorts of goodies. So check us out at alanapratt.com. And if you just heard with my little accent there out, I'm a small town Canadian who now lives in beautiful Wyoming. And the rain has officially, I think it stopped. So the horses have stopped neighing. So I think it's safe to go outside and do my next video outside for you. So I'm glad we were together in my kitchen with my beautiful flowers from my paddleboarding adventure this morning. I know you mean all the world to me. Humongous love. Breathe.